FPV drones can capture footage like no other drone on the planet, and with the Titan CD5, you can capture footage like this. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, this video, it's not for you hardcore racers out there, it's not for you Mr. Steel, flippy floppy peoples, it is for the people, the pilots who love to get out, go flying, and normally, I gotta say, this isn't my type of drone that I would fall in love with, but this thing is being strapped to my backpack more and more, and I've probably been taking this out more than any other drone lately because it is just so much fun to fly around, and you can see the footage that you can capture with this thing. It is absolutely gobsmack gorgeous, and today, what we're gonna do, it is the Titan DC5. I'm going to link it down below, and it's pretty special because it kind of comes in two versions. You can just get the standalone version, or there's like a, I don't know if they're teaming up with DJI or something like that, but there is like a bundle where you can get your FPV goggles, your digital goggles, and also the drone all ready to rock and roll. And I'm not sure if that's part of the Black Friday sales or limited to just before. I don't know exactly how that works. The link's going to be down below, but essentially what this is the Titan CD5. It's made for you DC5. It's made for you pilots who like to get out, get flying, and just enjoy being in the air, capturing some gorgeous stuff. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put it on the bench, break it down. We're gonna quickly look at the text and the specs, give the quad a bit of an overview, very briefly talk about the goggles because we've all seen them a million times before, and then we're gonna go out to the field, fly it around, show you some of the footage I've been capturing, hand it over to Wingman Jono, Long Range Tony, see what Grage thinks about it, and find out why iFlight is absolutely killing it lately. So let's do it. Break it down on the bench, start as a bit of an overview, and what it is, we'll get this in shot in the roof cam. It is a bind and fly 5-inch drone. It's doing some things a little bit differently. Of course, it's got the DJI system in here, but essentially, you're meant to be able to take this thing out of the box, and because of its design of having a dead cat style at the front, which is becoming more and more common, you can see there is no footage of the props. You know, there's no props in view when you're flying around. So you really feel like you are just a bird cruising. There's nothing blocking your vision or obstructing your vision, nothing sort of snapping you out of that reality, and you kind of forget where you are. You're just cruising in the most existential kind of experience you can get when you have an FPV. This bad boy hooked up with the digital HD is just, it's just something else, man. I'm telling you, I've been flying, I'm just, for the first time in a long time, just cruising, exploring, looking at different things. This drone is absolutely killing it. So moving on, let's talk about the components. Starting at the outside end, you've got some tri-blade props, and to be honest, I probably would change these for some. I feel like these aren't the most efficient props. They are very, very smooth though. Underneath that, we have some Zings. I think they're 18,000 kV, 2207 motors, and they perform very, very nicely. They've got a whole bunch of pop, and you'll see that in the flight footage. When you smash the throttle, they absolutely disappear. Moving towards the middle, of course, it is a very, very simple quad. We've got our ESC, which is a 50 amp 6S capable ESC. This is meant to be a 6S rig. We've got our F7 flight controller for some very, very smooth flight footage. And then I can't believe how simple drones are getting now in terms of the components. We've just got the DJI Air unit in the middle, which of course is our receiver, is our VTX, and hooks up to our camera at the front. So it's a very, very simple build. There's also a bind and fly version where you can get, if you want to hook it up to your FreeSky, maybe if you want to put in a Crossfire or something like that. But I've been flying around just using the DJI remote anyway for that little bit of extended range, and that's kind of it when it comes to the components. You've got your motors, your ESCs, and your flight controller, and then the whole rest of the FPV side of things is taken care by that all-in-one kind of unit with the, you put it on the side here, you can see here the DJI HD system, and that's also a HD recorder as well, so the footage you're about to see is going to be a mix between what we see in the goggles and also what it is recording on board when it's flying around, and that's really useful because if you lose your drone, it's so easy to play it back, watch the DVR in here, and then when you get your drone back, you can look at the really, really cool footage that you've captured, all that sort of stuff. Now moving on, let's talk about the design of the thing, and I gotta say, I like it. It knows what it wants to be. More and more nowadays, iFlight has been absolutely crushing it. They are making drones with a specific purpose. You don't want to get a drone that just does everything, that's like, but only does it half as well. I think the jack of all trades, master of none. This one, it knows what it wants to be. It wants to be a cinematic cruiser made for exploring, going long range, having fun, just checking out amazing scenery, being free like a bird. You can tell I'm excited talking about it, and that's because I've been flying this thing so much. And yeah, the dead cat style at the front, no props in the way. First and foremost, it is a cruiser, but you can still do a fair bit of freestyle with it. It's got plenty of pop. It is very fast. I don't think I'd be taking it to the races, but yeah, it's definitely can scream along if you punch the throttle. And the rates set by default are very, very high. So if you want to do a few crazy flippy floppies, well, absolutely go ahead. Of course, moving on, talking about the quality of the thing, and I got to say, iFlight has been crushing it. There's a lot of little attention to detail things that I like. Of course, I mentioned the arms, and they are all replaceable, a lot of that sort of stuff. You've got some 5mm, very chunky, thick arms, but it is absolutely covered with all these little TPU bumpers at the front, on the arms, at the back, on the back of the antennas as well, even things to help you screw down your SMA connectors. The TPU in here is going to protect your components very, very nicely. And also, if you're worried about striking these props on your arms, cutting some of your wires, they've got like, I don't know if this is going to come up in shot just here. We'll see if I can get some of the reflections. There you go. There's actually this hard plastic case on here, which means you're not going to be slicing your wires as well. So there's a lot of little attention to detail things that really go a long way in terms of quality. So whoever's making their quads at iFlight, it's those little extras that can make the difference between the quad crashing, braking, or even getting home. Imagine you're out flying around long range, you accidentally clip a tree, your blade on your prop deflects, it comes across the top of your ESC wires, and this little cover means the difference between, is it going to slice it, crash and burn, and then that's it for the rest of your drone, it's lost miles away, or it's just going to bounce off, keep flying, and you can bring this thing home. That's what makes the difference for me. Of course, moving on, let's talk about the pros and the cons before we quickly look at the DJI system that it comes with. I'm going to say pros, things I like. I like the motors, I like the responsiveness, I like how much punch it's got, I like how much confidence I have when I'm flying around. I feel like I can really go long range. I like the TPU mounts. I love that it's dead cat style. It knows what it wants to be, and just all in all, I think the one thing that I like the most is I am enjoying flying this thing so much. I'm just, like, you can see how many times I've taken this thing out when you look at the flight footage. There's so many different clips from different places. This thing just kind of comes everywhere with me. Why? Because it's reliable, because it's fun, and because it just encapsulates everything that FPV for me is about. It's just the joy of flying, and that's what I get when I'm flying this thing. Now, the things I don't like, well, number one, I don't know if this isn't really something I don't like, because I don't know, you can't change it too much, but look, it's not going to be for everybody. It's only DJI compatible, and it's also relatively expensive in the grand scheme of things. You can get a lot cheaper drones than this bad boy. I think by itself it is about $380. Check the link down below, but of course that's including the digital system that's got in here with the DJI. The other thing I don't like, I did have to tighten all the screws up, so when you first get this out of the box, make sure you take 2 seconds to tighten all the screws up. And then the only other thing is the camera at the front is a little bit exposed. I wish they could push that back just a little bit. If you are going to crash headfirst into a rock, there's a little spike at the bottom here, but I don't feel like that protects your camera enough. I wish it was recessed back just ever so slightly. I just think that would mean, you know, in a big crash, you want to protect your camera. That's something that I feel like you definitely could do a little bit of improvement on. Maybe I'm going to put out some little foam bumpers either side of the camera on the standoffs or something, because I plan to fly this thing a lot more, and that's probably the one weakness I have of the quad. Now, moving on with that pros and cons out of the way, normally go out to the field, fly it around. Of course, one of the systems, if you depending on which option you pick, comes with the DJI digital FPV system. I'm going to put a bit of a playlist. You can go watch up there the pros and cons, all that sort of stuff about this, but let me tell you, look, you get great footage, you can go long range, it's really fun to fly around, and you can't really experience anything else like it. None of the analog systems are really on the same level if it comes to the detail that you're going to get when you're flying around, and that's what this is all about. It is about exploring. It is about cruising, just being a bird, and the footage from this drone coupled with the HD of this, it just marries up perfectly. So look, I don't think it's going to be for everybody, not for your hardcore racers, nothing like that, but for those people who want to get out, capture some cool footage and just be a bird, enjoy FPV. This bad boy, definitely check it out. But that's enough rambling on the bench. Let's go out to the field, fly it around, see what the other boys think, show you some gorgeous footage from all different parts of Australia, and just have some fun with the iFlight Titan. So let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie, you guys are in for a bit of a treat. Most of you who watch my videos know that normally it's one flight and I show you the stuff. This is a mini bit of a comp, so make sure you watch this flight. It goes for about 2 minutes and we're exploring some really cool places. And that's what I want to stress with this drone. I've been taking this so many different places, doing so much different flying. And look, it's not all crazy acrobatics or anything like that. It is just me enjoying the Australian bush, flying around, getting some shots that I've never really had the confidence to do before.
And that's what I love about this drone too. You notice a lot of these too, I'm flying in places where this drone would be gone, lost in the water, all that sort of stuff. Right here, cruising down over a creek or a river, and this isn't my normal sort of flying environment. I think most of the time I'd be far too scared, but with this system, I just had the confidence to go push it, have some fun, and it really did make me feel like a bird. This is the sort of flying I've wanted to do for the longest time, and now I finally can. And hats off to the, I guess, the Titan from iFlight. It is absolutely smashing when it comes to different sort of stuff you can fly around. Yeah, here you can see just taking it everywhere. Here's another shot. But yeah, overall, the actual flight experience of the craft. I found in the wind it did get battered around a little bit. It does handle better if it had normal, not a dead cat style, but that's not what this one's about. I still found it was more than adequate at ripping around. It does have plenty of poke. You still can do some flips and rolls and all that sort of acrobatic practice, but that's not what it's made for. Where this thing is at, it's just almost like long-range cruising, exploring the world in places you've never been before. And for me, that's really the essence of FPV. So I'd say anybody wanting to pick this up before we hand it over to the other boys and see what they think, this thing just, if you want to go places, if you want to explore cool things, this drone is going to be absolutely magical in your quiver. I do think I would be changing the props out because sometimes on windy days I found it did get battered around a little bit, but the range is stellar. And the big one for me is confidence. I normally wouldn't be flying this drone in places where I couldn't get it back, but like, check this out. Pop over the cliff, and you know, I don't want to lose any drones, but this one I felt more than capable of pushing this thing well beyond where I push most analog systems. So just a nice, reliable rig. So hats off to iFlight. I'd love to know too, what do you think about doing this a little bit differently, showing you a compilation. It's not every day I do it, but it's also not every day I have a drone that just kind of has this cruisy, awesome feel about it. And here at the end, a few little technical parts too, so you can see it still does have plenty of power, plenty of pop if you want to do some little, I guess, normal acrobatics, not just cruisy stuff. But anyway, let's hand it over to the other boys and see what they think as well.
Rightio, out here in the field, we're going to do it with the DC5 Tony. So Tony's out. This one, a bit of a, almost like a long range cruiser. I'm going to fly it around, show you my impressions and, you know, voiceover, and also Tony, I'm going to get your impressions as well. So we're going to do this. Oh, you want to check the props?
Check your props. You've got a bit of a habit of not tightening. That was loose.
Was
it? Was loose.
Was it loose?
That
okay.
Was loose.
All right. So we're going to go for a fly. I'm actually going to get you to fly first, and then I'm going to fly. All right. So if you lose it, all right. And I'll get your impressions now. What do you think about it?
I think,
look, and one, it's like a dead cat style.
Yeah.
And its idea is that it's made so you can actually do some cinematography, I guess, long range flying, and you're not getting the props in view.
I really like the 3D print that runs like the length of the body that holds.
That's two different parts, but
yeah, brilliant. That holds the DJI system just above the stack, and it also holds your antennas on the back. That's a really neat idea. Yeah, I can always give or take the bumpers on the edge.
What do you think about dead cat?
It's an interesting frame shape, but I like the fact that you won't pick up the props. I think that's nice. And like you say, for doing some cinematic footage, I think that's pretty cool.
Cinnamon footage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it, and I even like the way they've beveled the edges of all the carbon, so that you don't have those like sharp edges. Yeah, nice attention to detail.
It's about, I think, $350, $400.
Particularly like the fact that the screws are already coming out.
All right, so let's tighten that up. Here's my Team Black Sheep 2mm driver.
Yeehaw, let's tighten them all up. Man, that was loose. All right.
We should check the motor screws too.
So was this how it came to you?
Yep.
That's pretty average. If you don't know what you're doing, you're putting it up with screws falling out. The next thing you know, you get an arm fall off.
We better check the motor screws as well.
I will.
So they're all loose?
They're all loose. I don't know what you've got in the back of this.
In the back there I've got spare screws.
Nice. Like it. Yeah, they're all exceptionally loose.
Tell me how the motor screws are. They loose?
Loose.
Wow.
Man,
what are you doing, iFlight?
I don't want to drive them up into the windings, but
no, you got plenty of clearance.
No, they are all they're not even tight.
So we're lucky it didn't come out mid-flight?
Well, I reckon you would have come down and lost a few screws, put it that way.
And it might have spun up and chop it.
Well,
oh, we do have these protectors over the wires. I don't know if you can comment on them while you're tightening them up.
So I like those.
Keep tightening them. Why are you tightening them?
They're good.
Yeah. I'm not paying you to stand around, mate.
It's just like a piece of plastic tubing.
I'm not paying you at all.
No, you never pay me, mate.
I did give you that beer and pizza that one time in about 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we're even, right?
You mean warm beer and cold pizza?
Yeah. I got it round the wrong way.
Yeah. Just because I'm Pom, it don't mean we like warm beer in the summer.
I think beer actually tastes better if you warm it up. Like if it's not ice frozen cold.
A good
you can
ale.
taste it.
A good ale.
You need to be able to taste it.
All right, Stu. Well, I think now that we've tightened things up, we might...
Every single screw?
Every single
Even
screw.
the top ones?
Even
they
the top
were
ones
loose
were
as
loose.
well?
Even the top ones were loose.
Jesus.
Now I'm going to get flying because the VTX is...
getting warm?
Getting hot.
Just check. I think you missed one of the motors, or you reckon?
Done them all.
Okay.
Trust me, Obi-Wan.
All right. Let's go. Nice.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
So I've only done my little test hover when I was chasing your big plane around. So
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good, mate. Alrighty. Alrighty, Tony. You've gone for you've given it a little bit of a blip. Let me know, how is it? So can you see the props?
I cannot see the props, and it's very smooth. I'll try my best to do some cinematic footage, yeah,
right,
rather
let's
than
do it. So you're coasting, pretend you're coasting down the mountain, some nice smooth footage.
clip the top of the trees,
Yep.
down into the gaps, and see if we can go around the tree up the end here. This is one that we've often flown up around. Yeah, this is lovely. I like the fact that you can't see the props at all. This is great.
Are you noticing any drag or anything? Because it's quite a wide frame.
No, not at all. Not at all. I can see a bushfire though.
Can you?
Yeah, there's one over the racecourse. Or a house fire.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, there's something happening over there. No, this is great. And look, again, I know this isn't about the DJI system, but having that, it's like you've had your amazing flight, and you're actually sitting at home watching it in playback while you're flying. So that's a pretty great experience to have. And I think it's going to open up a whole load of new pilots who want to do that sort of long-range cinematic flying, because you can actually experience it while you're flying. It's not all the analog footage that you're seeing, and then you don't see the joy of it until you've come home, downloaded the video. This is great. I love it. So look, I think another great advantage of having a DJI system in a drone like this is I'm having no issues at all flying out behind all the trees over in the dog park here. I have no fear at all that I'm going to lose video or get a fail safe on the transmission. You know, I'm way over and starting to get a little bit of break up on the edges of the video, but again, I feel very confident that this thing's coming home again.
Do you think you'd take it up a mountain?
Oh, if you had clear line of sight, absolutely, it'd be awesome. Only problem is we don't have too many mountains around here, Stu. But yeah, no, I'd have a lot of confidence with a system like this. DJI have had a good reputation for stability in their videos. Would it be wrong if I went under this railway? Probably.
I don't even know where you are, mate.
See the railway viaduct?
No.
Yep.
I don't even know what a viaduct is.
Well, the bridge.
Are you over there?
Yeah.
Okay, come back.
I'm going under it.
No, please come back.
I've gone under it. Ooh, over the railway again. There we go.
Are you over water?
No, I'm coming back now. I'm heading back over the reeds towards the grass. I just went under the railway.
Oh, way over there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Is that
I
all
see
right?
it. Yeah, that was a long way away.
Yeah, that was easy. That was good. Heading back towards... This is lovely. It's nice and smooth. And I'm still on 21.6 volts.
I think that is what it's made for too, a bit more cruising and not so much your racing kind of thing. Can you give it us a punch just to see how it's like? Oh, okay. That probably sucked the juice.
It's got
though.
heaps of bananas. Oh, that's good.
Bananas for scale, right?
Yeah. 21.1 we've bounced.
Yeah.
21.5 we've bounced back to. So yeah, that's really cool. And just run along the reeds. There's a bit of long reeds here. Yeah, this is nice. Very smooth. And you know what? It actually had quite a bit of punch. This is running on 6S.
That is a 6S rig?
It had plenty of punch out. I like this. This is good. Nice and cruisy, but if I want to go nuts... Oh man, look at that! Did you... I don't know if you can... You'll have to wait to the playback, but it's got the most insane roll rate I've ever had.
Okay, come and do it roll in front of it.
You ready? Like... It almost, it's like a kaleidoscope when you've hit the roll.
I'm
Ready?
watching,
Here we
I'm
go.
watching. That was like 3.
It's nuts. So, but it's really.
Would you turn that down?
No, I kind of like it.
Okay, all right.
But it's got expo, so it's
So it feels
very
smooth in the middle, but when you get to those outer
when
extremities...
you go, yeah, absolutely, and it's got a crazy amount of roll rates set into it. Whoa, there we go. I need to hit the top of the tree. Yeah, I kind of like this.
All right, what do you think about the $400 mark for this Spine and Fly, with just how it comes?
400.
Yep.
I reckon that's great value. Like, I honestly think it's great. I thought you were going to say it's like 550. 400 to be able to fang around, do some long range cruising, get some great video, and also do some insane rolls. Like that's pretty good money, I reckon. And this is iFlight, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, they seem to be knocking out some pretty good little rigs at the moment. So yeah, respect to iFlight.
What's your flight time at?
547. I'm on
Okay.
20.6 volts.
All right, that's not too bad.
No, it's not shabby
Keep
at
going
all.
for a while, till about 20.
Yep, I'm just gonna go over there. Let's see if we can follow the channel.
These aren't the best batteries either, by the way.
All right.
So they might die quickly when it does get down.
All right. Yeah, no, this is really good. I'm flying over the water, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Well, you got to go get it if you crash it. And I haven't even flown it
You
really
haven't?
yet. Not on 6S, nah.
Yeah, no, I really like this. This is cool. I'm just gonna cruise around the tree and then come in.
I've even lost you. That's what I'm not used to. The drones going so far away where you can't hear them. You know,
Yeah.
usually we can always hear our stuff.
Oh, that's nice. I reckon you could get even lower down in here than me.
All right. You coming in?
I'm coming in. Don't worry about the arm switch. I've got
Imagine if I just disarmed it and it went into the mud. Well, Joe could be on me, I guess. Could you see me moving out of the way?
I can see it.
All right. Final
Alright.
thoughts.
Final thoughts.
iFlight, once we've done the bolts up.
I really enjoyed that. That was really pleasant.
I can see the
It was-
smile on your face,
Yeah,
mate.
nice and cruisy. Had some insane roll. It's a really nicely prepared frame. I like the way the carbon's been prepared. It's got the edges chamfered off. The attention to detail with the little covers over the motor wires is great. Plenty of room inside for anything you want. And I really like this TPU mount for the DJI system. It's brilliant.
I'll tell you my complaint.
What's that?
Mine was this bit of the... What? They should have recessed the camera a little bit. Because
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
crashed into a rock, you know,
But
it's quite an
again,
expensive camera.
It is.
Well, why not just put it back just a tad? Like, it doesn't need to be out that far. You could break it. It'd be a simple design to put that back a little bit.
Yeah,
that was my
I mean, you
choice.
could put a bumper on, but you might end up getting a bit in the camera lens.
Yeah,
but,
you could 3D print something out just
Yeah.
a little bit. But yeah, I thought they should have done that.
But look, overall, really like it. I like the little mounts on the back for the antenna. I think people are really starting to get their heads around what it is to do a good frame design with DJI. So
Cool.
I like that. That's great.
All right, and did you like the dead cat? That's the last bit I want to ask.
Yeah, because there's no props in the camera whatsoever, and it really gives a great sense when you're flying. So
Alright.
yeah, thumbs up.
Nice, thanks. Rightio, Jono, this is the DC5 from iFlight. Look, this is a 6S rig, but you're going to be flying around on 4S, and let me say, this one...
Slow boating's probably good for me.
Okay, but it's also made, like, if you look at it, it's dead cat style. You can't see the props in view, and it's made for getting those, like, down mountains, chasing some cinematic kind of
look at
stuff.
that. Yeah.
So, it's a freestyle drone, but more of, like, an exploring, cruisy, I'm going to say cinematic kind of long sloping shot style. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it on your head. You've never tried the DJI before. I want to hear less impressions about the actual video, more about the
it's gonna
drone
be
itself.
difficult.
Yeah, I know, because it's going to be, your mind's about to be expanded, but I also want to know what you think about this, all right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, first impressions?
So first impressions, yeah, I like the dead cat, keep the props out of there, because a lot of people using a DJI, and you know, you take the nice footage out in front of it. Like you're saying, a cruising sort of one, I can see that in the way that it's built, that the it's definitely not going to be a bando basher, this one. The arms, like, they're thick, but they're also really thin that way. It doesn't...
They're quite long too,
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they, the
quite
way
long.
splayed out?
I don't think these are going to take very long in a bando to break, to be honest.
You're not going to crash this into some concrete?
No, I think we'll be right out here.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
old OG test track.
Yeah.
There's a couple of trees that we might be able to test it on, but we're all right for concrete.
All right.
But yeah,
Should
they
we
don't
do-
look like they'll take a brick wall too well. The rest of it, like, it's built in really nicely, nice and compact. Yeah, the DJI system's housed in there pretty nicely as well. So yeah,
Ready to do it?
yeah, we'll give it a roll.
Let's go. Arm switch is top right. This one just
That one?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to forget that one.
Get out of the way, Granger. Let the man fly.
Oh,
What's wrong?
new radio, new goggles. I just knew everything. It's going to be I'm worried about breaking it because it's new everything.
Mate, go for it. Go for it. That's what this review's all about.
Yeah, yeah. What about the DJI
Yeah,
system?
not about the DJI, mate. I want you to talk about the drone.
Yeah, let's cruise the drone around.
Is it fun flying it? What's this like in your mind too? I'm
about
sure.
the DJI.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the DJI because
yeah.
I know you want to.
No. Everyone's talked about the DJI. Yeah, okay. It looks great. Yeah, all right. Cool. Good stuff. Thank you. I hate you all. You're ruining my wallet. I can't afford this. I'm gonna have to get one. You guys suck. Hey, okay, yeah. So drone. Let's get punchy.
And this is a 6S1, and you've only got it on 4S.
Yeah. It definitely feels like a bit slow. It does. Yeah.
On 4S.
Yeah. I can definitely feel it's a bit slow. It's not like a cracker to punch out or anything like that. Still feels nice and smooth though. It cruises around nicely. It's meant to be like cruising and diving and stuff. So I'm going to take it up nice and high, and we're going to go for a nice cruisy like bring down behind the trees and stuff, and we'll see how we go. We will.
Oh, so you're so far away, mate. I have no idea where you are.
And yeah, it feels really smooth. It's not feeling too like jittery. There's a little bit of a kick from the wind today because the wind's not real nice, but yeah. On the 4S, it doesn't feel like it's going to be a power freestyle rig, but like you're saying, it's not really meant to be that anyway.
It's about 400 US as well.
Yeah.
With that DJI Air system in it.
Oh yeah, those are expensive though. So yeah. Hey, like in terms of pulling cinematics, like not having the props in view and stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's really nice flying, and like particularly with DJI system being able to see everything. It's not going to be. I think what's cool about this is it's not going to be like one of those ones where you're like, you fly and it all looks like crap, and then you get home and you look at your GoPro footage and you're like, oh wow, that looks really good. I feel like I can actually enjoy the ride that I'm going on at the time, as opposed to the GoPro footage after, like so many of us do with our freestyle. So that's definitely with the air unit in there too. That's what makes that possible. Absolutely. Like but then the props not in view and stuff like that as well. It's definitely making it more like you're actually in the cockpit of a proper freestyle video.
Anything you don't like?
Anything I don't like about it? Well, obviously with this rig, like I was saying, I don't. Judging by the arms on, I don't think it's going to take a hit on a bando.
Yep.
It isn't, and for me, the other thing obviously is like I'm a budget guy. I'm working on a budget, so the DJI unit is super expensive, man. But given it's supposed to be like more reliable on range and stuff like that, I wouldn't. You probably got less of a chance of losing it, so that's a nice feature.
Who would you recommend this for?
For this one? Yeah. Oh yeah, if you're looking for a cruiser, man, I'm having a blast cruising this one.
And I should say, you'd probably want to send to the people. It's really only going to people with the radio or the goggles already.
Yeah.
You need that. Otherwise, if you don't have that, it's very expensive to get that plus all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's it. But with that unit built in and stuff like that, like the price is fairly reasonable. It is. Oh no, I just dumped it. There's our test.
Alright, nice. I'll let you go get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk of shame. Who wants next try? Here you go, Granger.
Radio Granger, we got the DC5 from iFlight. First impressions before you go rip it around. So you can see it's dead cat style.
Looks neat, and their 3D prints are really nice. Obviously designed for the DJI product. I like how they've got that neat little 3D print. Whether that'll break or not in a crash, who knows. These arms I feel like you could get lots of leverage on them in a crash. You'd definitely be smashing your camera.
That's what I said too. It's interesting you say that. When I flew that with Tony or someone before, you didn't hear us when we flew that, but because
the arms aren't in front of the actual camera, so there's nothing to stop it from hitting. So that's going to be your first contact of crash.
Okay.
Apart from that, look, it's built very cleanly. They do a very good job at building their drones, in my opinion. Their solder joints are just all perfect. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And yeah, let's just
let's
test it.
You might get blown out of the air here, Jono.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow, this feels really nice. A little bit of prop wash, like a bit more than what I'm used to.
Yeah. Do you think that's something to do with the dead cat configuration?
Either that or the tune. I feel like you could tune it out. I feel like it's just the tune that they've put on it. It feels, I don't know what they've version of Betaflight or anything, but it feels very connected with the sticks. And lately Betaflight's really stepped their game up with all their new versions of Betaflight and all that. So look, they're just getting so good nowadays. It's hard to like come across a bad one now. Yeah, look, this is very enjoyable. I'm very pleased with this drone actually. Just the way it cruises, the way you can flick it out as well, and the tune that they give you is like, if I was a beginner, I would think this is the best tune ever.
But you're not a beginner, so what do you think as an expert?
As an it's, if I had a drone that was tuned like this, I would be completely fine with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it in terms of bounce back. The only thing I can point out is just that little bit of prop wash coming down into your dirty air, which, you know, usually a lot of drones have nowadays, but I feel like you could tune that out just a little bit more.
Okay.
And obviously the DJI stuff is just amazing. Like, I really want to get it so bad. It just, it flows. It's got a really nice feel, general feel on the sticks. I can just cruise and feel very comfortable with it, which I really like in drones. Like to feel very comfortable with them.
And this is less made for freestyle, man. I think this is made for, like, you know, long range cruising.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, that's why the props aren't in the view and all that sort of stuff. It's its setup.
That's
Go for a cruise. Yeah, go for a cruise.
This is awesome. It's just such a new experience, you know, being able to actually see everything and take in all the details. Like usually it's just pixely, but I can see the water, like where the water goes white and where it flows down the river. Like that's
Poetic FPV with Granger.
what's that?
Bring it in, brother. I want your
I
final
don't want to.
impressions.
It's just too good.
What's your battery voltage at then?
14.3.
Yeah, fly around a bit more if you're enjoying it.
It's just, I can see everything. Like I can see the water running.
Don't go low.
Unbelievable.
Below the dirt, you get a
Huge thumbs up with this drone. This is really nice. This is very nice. I'm very pleased with this drone. Look, I even love just cruising through the grass. Oh my god.
Stop it.
Oh my god, I hope this is recording. That looks sick.
You're getting it all dirty, you do.
Yeah, it's great though. Like you can see everything. I can see like bits of little dust and bugs flying up.
I'm disarming for you.
Alright. That was crazy. Oh, I love this DJI stuff. It's just unbelievable.
This isn't about DJI, mate.
Yeah,
I know
but
about the drone.
The drone flies good, but the DJI stuff is great as well on it. The drone is a drone that flies nice. I'm happy with the drone. You can't go wrong with it. How much is it?
$400 with the stuff built in, US.
Oh yeah, so obviously it'd be a bit more pricey with the air unit. Look, I'd get this and fly it around. It's a great cruiser if you're into that long range sort of stuff or cruising freestyle. You can even proper freestyle with this in terms of like crazy tricks. So, look, I'd give this like an 8 out of 10. This is really nice.
No, I like your number. All right, thanks,
Nice.
Granger.
No worries.
Radio, so there it is. There's my review of the iFlight Titan, and overall, I've got to say, I'm very impressed. You know, I didn't think a dead cat style, just cinematic cruiser would be the sort of drone that I'm going to want to fly all the time. But wouldn't you know it, I've done so many flights with this thing, it hasn't let me down. It's always been strapped to the back of my quad, and when I just want to cruise, have some fun, and it brings back all those memories of when I first started FPV. Just, you know, when you put the goggles on, you're like, well, I'm flying, and you're going different places and you're experiencing the world in a different way like you never have before. This just brings back that joy of flying for me. I'm not going to be taking it racing. You still can do freestyle, but if you just want a pure freestyle one, something like the Banggotti is going to be better. I think it's going to handle the hard bando crashes, all that sort of stuff. But for some cinematic flying, cruising around, having some fun with a reliable rig, I got to say, hats off to iFlight. You've absolutely killed it. You've been smashing it with so many drones lately. You know, the Nazguls, there's so many, there's Sedoras. This one is just, it knows what it wants to be, the dead cat style, no props in view. I'd say hands down, this thing is an absolute joy to fly. And the other part too, for anybody considering jumping over to digital, it's nice that iFlight's kindly taken the plunge and you can get a buy and fly version where it comes with the goggles ready just to hook up to these. It comes as like one pack, you can just get ready to rock and roll, go have some fun and experience FPV. Who's ringing me on my phone? probably bloody malice, mate. I'm trying to film some videos. Sorry for that, getting distracted. But overall, yeah, they are absolutely killing it, and I gotta say, hats off. The link's down below. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. Drop your comments down below what you think about this system, what you think about the bind and fly part, and I want to know too, what's the coolest place or the coolest FPV experience you've had when you've been flying around? So for me, just there was something about those cliffs over down the coast of Australia. It was just a very, very I haven't done too much flying like that before, but this system makes me want to do it. But I'd love to know where if you had this, where would you be going to fly? So anyway, on that, comments down below, subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying.